All right, we're recording and we're moving on. We are talking about observation number 6. And this is so far my favorite one. Of course, every one of Marcus Aurelius's points at this point that we've dug out has been building for me. I like them more and more, and it's cool. It's unlocking a part of my brain where I'm starting to connect things that I've learned from long ago, and things that I have kind of always been instincts for me. And this one's a perfect one. And I'll give you some great examples as far as from a sales standpoint, why this point in particular is so important to those guys who are trying to close a deal. All right, so here we go. Maintain self-control. While it is natural to react to an offense by losing your temper or even becoming irritated, it is in no way constructive. To maintain control over your emotions, Aurelius writes, remember that life is short. You can choose to spend your time and energy obsessing over things that have already happened, or you can choose to be calm and address any problems that arise. I'll save the last line in this write-up, and I'll share this now. I'll save the last line in this write-up, towards the end. So, think about this. Maintain self-control. What's going on with this? All right. People lose self-control and lose deals oftentimes because their energy is jacked, because they start to get on their agenda as opposed to staying on the client's agenda. They go from consultant to commission hungry wolf. Okay. As soon as you bring scarcity into the conversation, as soon as you start worrying about your bonus, your paycheck, your deal, the way you're going to look on your pipeline, you are effectively now worrying about the outcome, and you're no longer worrying about patient care or the client or suitability or creating competency, right? When I learned collision-based sales, I learned it as strategic seduction. And inside of strategic seduction, the 5th and 6th section, close commitment, collect cash. And it's because it was a very transactional theory. It was about getting somebody to go offline or online and me closing them and seducing them and making them want and desire me, but closing them to a cash transaction one time. And the problem with that is lab sales is not about a transaction. Lab sales is very much about a relationship. Lab sales is about creating competency. And so what I teach and preach and reach, how I do that with my clients during a multitude of interactions, and my ability to be able to get them to change and transform, I got to blend with them. If I lose self-control, if I lose my temper, if I'm angry, if I'm pissed off, if I'm mad, if I feel defeated, if all of a sudden I have pride, or if I'm sad or depressed, or if I'm happy, if I walk in and I'm full of joy, that can trigger, I lose self-control. I need to be focused on one thing, patient care, making sure that I can create competence with my testing strategy, so that way I can help patients. Like, that's my focus, right? If you think about where some of this comes up, the Navy SEALs taught me arousal control with box breathing. If you hang out with me enough, you'll probably do box breathing and some meditation. We'll probably take 3 to 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and we'll meditate. And the box breathing is connecting your tongue to the roof of your mouth, breathing in over 5 seconds, holding your breath for 5 seconds, breathing out for 5 seconds, holding your breath for 5 seconds, breathing in for 5 seconds, holding your breath for 5, and it's a box. This is about controlling your emotions, and a tactical breath allows us to be able to have emotional detachment. There's a quote from Saint Augustine. It's spelled Augustine, but I believe it's pronounced Augustine. It says, a man has as many masters as he has vices. So when we talk about losing self-control, there's not a lot of better examples for us than to look at to St. Augustine, who was like the master of vices before he turned to virtue. And the ability to be able to, maintain discipline. We talk about science compliant sales marketing and self-mastery. This is very much about self-mastery, mastering one's self, the sin and the skin, being able to be a master of your flesh, not allowing your rage or your anger, your want or your desire to ruin a relationship with your clients, not lying to them because you're worried about your paycheck, not manipulating them because you want to be liked, not motivating them because you want an outcome for them that they don't actually want for themselves, right? In the Bhagavad Gita, there's a portion Arjun says, or he's actually told, I got to read this one. Focus on your duty without attachment to the fruits of your actions. For this to work, it needs to release you from all sinful reactions. I know it better as Kenny Rogers and the gambler. Boy says, know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your chips while you're sitting at the table. There'll be plenty of time to count your chips when the dealing's done. And so Bhagavad Gita and Kenny Rogers are basically saying the same thing. Do not focus on the fruits. Don't count the spoils of war before the war is won. Don't focus on the outcome. Don't focus on winning the game. Just go out and win the game. That should be good enough. So in this aspect of self-control, where in your life are you seeing a need for you to have more self-control inside of your body? Dude, I ate a sleeve of Oreo cookies every day last week. All right. I have turf toe right now. And I am not working out like I need to work out because I'm injured. That's a story. And so because I'm not able to spin off this energy, for some reason, my body is craving Chips Ahoy and Oreo cookies. I am eating ice cream. I am going and grabbing carbohydrates right now. I guarantee you I put on 10 pounds since I've been injured. And so I have to get into a flow where I work out and I meditate. Last week, especially the 4th of July, hot dogs and hamburgers and potato salad and cake and you name it. So where can I look for self-control right now and get back to discipline and trimming my waistline, but also, getting my flesh back into order? There's a big lesson for this one for me today, right? Inside of my spirituality, where the reason why we want to be tethered to the church is because it brings us closer to self-control, self-discipline, some type of a moral authority that keeps us in check. Inside of your family, where do you need to maintain self-control? Is there an argument that's occurring between you and your daughter? Are you and your son? Are you and your spouse? Are you and your parents? Are you not talking about something that needs to be talked about because you're afraid that you're going to yell at them? Are you shutting down communication right now because you're afraid you're going to lose self-control? So the way that you maintain a grip on the relationship is actually by shutting down communication and detaching yourself emotionally from that aspect, right? So this is where you have to figure out how to spin it the other way, because I can't show up emotionless and completely detach myself from that whenever I'm with my family or my children. And I have to practice controlling my emotions and leading towards love and leaning towards joy and claiming those things with my family. So that way I can work on my clients, guys. It's always going to go back to that. You lead yourself in the morning, so that way you can lead your family. So that way you can learn to lead your clients. So that way one day you can lead your community. And then now think about self-control in business. Where are you blowing it right now inside of your own sales pipeline because you've gotten emotional, right? Most relationships can be repaired with crystal clear, honest, compliant communication. Be respectful, be empathetic, but most importantly, just tell the truth. And with that, apply these. Teach somebody that you love, man. Lead it, live it, love it. The stuff that we're trying to do today This leads us to greatness. Greatness should be contagious.